You walk into an empty house at night. You flip on one light. The rest of the room stay dark. And somehow, without seeing anything, without hearing anything, you feel it. Someone is watching you. There is no one there. You know there is no one there. But your body disagrees. Your skin tightens. Your shoulders rise toward your ears. Your eyes start scanning corners they have no logical reason to scan. This is not your imagination running wild. This is one of the oldest alarm systems in the human brain. And it is older than language, older than fire, older than the idea of ghosts itself. So why does it happen? And why does it happen in empty rooms of all places, where logically nothing should trigger it? The answer starts with a part of your brain you have never consciously met. It sits deep behind your eyes, almost dead center in your skull. Scientists call it the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's smoke detector. It does not wait for proof of fire, it reacts to smoke. Vague shapes, sudden movement, anything that even resembles a threat gets flagged immediately, long before your thinking brain gets a vote. Here is the strange part. Your peripheral vision, the blurry edges of what you can see without turning your head, is wired almost directly into that smoke detector. The center of your vision is sharp and detailed, built for reading and recognizing faces. The edges are built for something else entirely: speed, threat detection, catching movement before you even know what moved. This means the corners of a dark room are not actually empty to your brain. They are full of half-formed shapes that your visual system cannot quite resolve. A coat on a hook, a shadow from a streetlight. Your brain takes that blur and asks one question, the same question it has asked for millions of years. Could that be alive? And when it cannot answer with certainty, it defaults to caution. Because for most of human history, caution kept you alive. The humans who assumed every rustle in the grass was nothing got eaten. The humans who assumed every rustle might be something survived long enough to have children. You are descended from the second group. Their nervousness became your inheritance. But this still does not fully explain the feeling itself. The specific sensation of being watched is different from simple fear of the dark. It feels directed, personal, like there is a gaze on the back of your neck. Where does that come from? In 2014, a neuroscientist named Olaf Blanca ran an experiment that accidentally recreated this exact feeling in a laboratory. Blanca and his team built a robotic device that touched a blindfolded person's back whenever that person moved their finger forward. Simple cause and effect. Move your finger, feel a touch. Then they introduced a tiny delay between the action and the touch, just a fraction of a second, and something remarkable happened. Many of the participants reported feeling like someone else was standing behind them, a presence, not imagined in a vague, dreamy way, but felt vividly as if another body occupied that space. The brain, Blanca found, has an internal system constantly tracking the boundary between your body and the world. When that timing gets even slightly disrupted, the brain does not conclude that something is wrong with its own wiring. It concludes that someone else must be there. The presence feels more real than the alternative explanation, which is that your own nervous system glitched for a moment. This is the same mechanism that activates in a dark, empty room. Your brain is constantly predicting where your body ends and the world begins. In low light, with unreliable visual input, those predictions get noisier. The gap between what your body expects and what it can confirm widens, and your brain fills that gap the same way it filled it in Blanca's lab, with a presence. Decades earlier, a researcher named Michael Persinger explored a related question from a completely different angle. Persinger studied what happens when specific regions of the brain, particularly areas involved in spatial awareness and the sense of self, receive unusual stimulation. Across his research, subjects under certain conditions reported the unmistakable sensation of a presence in the room with them. Not a sound, not a sight, just an unshakable certainty that they were not alone. His findings remain debated, and replication has been inconsistent. But the broader pattern lines up with what neuroscience has confirmed again and again since. The feeling of being watched is not random. It is not supernatural. It is what happens when the brain's prediction machinery runs into uncertainty and resolves that uncertainty with the most ancient, most cautious explanation available. Something is there. There is something else working against you in an empty room, and it has nothing to do with shadows. It is silence. In a noisy environment, your brain has a constant stream of information to process and dismiss. Traffic, voices, hums. Each sound gets evaluated and filed away as harmless within milliseconds. But true silence removes that stream entirely, and a brain with no input to process does not relax. It searches harder. It turns up its own internal gain, listening for anything, which means it becomes more likely to register a settling floorboard or a creaking pipe as significant. The quieter the room, the louder your own alarm system becomes. Add darkness to that silence, and you have removed two of your primary senses from reliable service at the exact same time. Vision degraded, hearing overcompensating. This is precisely the condition under which humans throughout history reported encountering spirits, demons, and watchers in the dark. Different cultures gave it different names. The mechanism behind it was the same nervous system, reacting the same way, in the same kind of room. There's also a more personal layer to this. Researchers studying gaze perception have found that humans are exceptionally good at detecting when another person is looking directly at them, even at a distance, even in low light, even out of the corner of an eye. This skill develops early in infancy and stays remarkably accurate throughout life. It is, evolutionarily speaking, one of the most important social skills a human can have. Knowing who is watching you tells you who might be a threat, who might be an ally, and who is paying attention to what you are doing. That skill does not turn off just because a room is empty. If anything, it becomes hypersensitive. With no real gaze to detect, your gaze detection system starts flagging false positives. A pattern in the wallpaper, the angle of a doorway, a coat rack that from the corner of your eye briefly resembles a human silhouette. Your brain, built to never miss a real gaze, would rather give you 100 false alarms than risk missing one true one. So when you stand in that dark room and feel watched, multiple systems are firing at once. Your threat detection is scanning blurry shapes for danger. Your body boundary system is straining against the silence and dark, generating the sense of an unexplained presence. And your gaze detection system, the same one that has kept humans socially alert for hundreds of thousands of years, is throwing false alarms into the mix because it would rather overreact than underreact. None of this means something paranormal is happening. It means something remarkably normal is happening, just one that feels deeply abnormal in the moment. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It is protecting you from a world that, for the vast majority of human history, genuinely did contain things lurking in the dark. Predators, rival tribes, real threats with real eyes. What is strange is not that you feel watched in empty rooms. What is strange is how rarely you stop to ask why. The feeling arrives so fast, so convincingly that questioning it almost never occurs to you in the moment. It only feels explainable later, in daylight, when the same room looks like nothing more than a room. Knowing the mechanism does not necessarily make the feeling disappear. The amygdala does not care that you understand neuroscience. It will still fire the next time you walk into a dark, silent space. But understanding it changes what you do with the feeling. Instead of running from an unseen presence, you can recognize the moment for what it is: an ancient survival system, still switched on, still doing its job in a modern world that rarely needs it anymore. So the next time you walk into an empty house at night and you flip on one light and the rest of the room stay dark and you feel it, that sense that someone is watching you, remember this: no one is there, but something very old inside you still insists on checking.